Today we're going to look at some rare images revealing Francis Bacon as Shakespeare and Supreme Head of the Rosicrucian-Freemasonry Brotherhood. This video is dedicated to the incomparable Baconian brother, Alfred Dodd. As a youth, Francis Bacon took the Greek goddess Pallas Athena for his inspiration and muse. She was the goddess of knowledge and wisdom and is depicted as shaking her spear at the serpent of ignorance, hence Bacon's nom de plume, Shakespeare. The frontispiece to Bacon's La Sagesse Mystérieuse, Wisdom of the Ancients, depicts his muse Pallas Athena. The mottos above her head and on her shield are Obscuris sphera involvens, truth is enveloped by obscurity, and Sic fulget in umbras, thus it shines in the shadows. This extremely rare work was published at Amsterdam in 1616, the year William Shakespeare of Stratford died. It contains 50 illustrations accompanied by Latin verses. Emblem number 1 depicts Fortune standing on a globe, with one hand pushing off from the pinnacle of fame a man dressed as an actor or player, with the other hand raising up a man wearing a Bacon hat, the Freemasonic hat of the Grand Master, whose face is hidden. Confirmation of Bacon's identity is provided in the 9th line of the verse, with each of the 6 words beginning with the letters ONCFBA, an anagram of F. Bacon. The engraving represents the rocky mountain of Parnassus, the mythical home to Apollo, god of poetry, and the Muses, the goddesses of poetry and drama, with its winding steps leading to a Masonic temple. Francis Bacon is shown sitting with his left hand controlling his literary mask, William Shakespeare, clad in an actor's goatskin. With his right hand, Bacon points to the large folio of his Shakespeare works. There are 18 dots on the visible left page, and we can assume 18 dots on the right page, partly hidden from us, giving a total of 36, the number of plays in the first folio. His literary mask, Shakespeare, holds a clasped book like the old Masonic rituals, symbolising that his Rosicrucian-Freemasonry Brotherhood closely guard and watch over the secret life and writings, including his secret authorship of the Shakespeare works. Immediately following the publication of the Shakespeare First Folio of 1623, there appeared a rare book on cryptography, codes and ciphers, one of Bacon's favourite subjects, entitled Cryptomenetices, published under the pseudonym of Gustavus Selinus at Lunenburg in 1624. The work has a very complex and revealing title page, which relates to Francis Bacon and the Shakespeare works. On the left side of the middle section appears Francis Bacon with his distinctive Masonic hat, passing the text of a play to a man dressed as an actor holding a spear, thus a spearman, in other words the actor William Shakespeare. In 1612, Henry Peacham published an emblem book entitled Minerva Britannia. It has an enigmatic title page depicting a curtain hiding an invisible author whose right hand reaches out from behind the curtain, writing in block capitals on a scroll, Mente Videbor, by the mind I shall be seen. Pages 33 and 34 of this work are of especial interest. Page 33, Simple Cipher for Bacon, is emphasised with an asterisk. The emblem depicts a man holding or shaking a spear. Opposite on page 34, so 33 and 34 equals 67, Francis in Simple Cipher, is an emblem which is addressed to Sir Francis Bacon, wearing his Masonic hat, shaking a lance or spear at the serpent of ignorance, revealing that Francis Bacon is Shakespeare. In 1623, Bacon dedicated the Shakespeare First Folio, the greatest Masonic book in the world, to the Grand Master of England, William Herbert, Earl of Pembroke. In the Folger's Shakespeare Library, there is a unique copy of the first folio with an upside-down B on the first page of The Tempest. This is a device used by the Rosicrucian-Freemasonry Brotherhood to indicate a disclosure of secret information about Francis Bacon. Proof that Francis Bacon is Shakespeare is revealed within the first letter B of The Tempest in the Shakespeare First Folio of 1623. When the ornamental B is enlarged, it reveals Francis Bacon around its decorative scroll, revealing the true authorship of the Shakespeare plays. This poem was newly introduced into the 1632 Second Shakespeare Folio. The first thing to notice about this long poem is the Freemasonic language of its title, Unworthy Master Shakespeare, indicating that the true Shakespeare is a member of the Freemasonry Brotherhood. It will be noticed that the first line within the large capital A has 33 italic letters, 33 Bacon in simple cipher, and that the first paragraph break comes after 39 lines, 39 F. Bacon in simple cipher. The anonymous poem is signed The Friendly Admirer of His Endowments, comprising 33 letters, 33 Bacon in simple cipher. This is followed with 3 cryptic initials, IMS. The letters IMS have a numerical value of 39, F. Bacon in simple cipher. In 1640 appeared the English translation of The Advancement of Learning, or The Partition of Sciences, in 9 books. Adjacent to the portrait of Bacon is an engraved frontispiece that is framed by 2 Masonic pillars, which, as Alfred Dodd, himself a Freemason, points out, indicates quite clearly his connection with modern Freemasonry by signs and symbols. There are the 2 great pillars, the terrestrial and celestial globes, the sun and moon, the curtain which still veils the floor of the lodge in many old lodges, the secret grip of the clasped hands, the pyramids of the higher degrees, the lighted candles and the symbolic owls that denote wisdom and secrets. The 6 parts of the Great Instauration are to be seen as Francis Bacon's complete work, 3 parts being placed under the visible globe and 3 under the invisible globe, thus indicating that 3 were written openly and 3 secretly. His concealed works were the Shakespeare plays, the Rosicrucian manifestos, and the complete rituals on which he founded the Masonic Brotherhood. It is not known who designed and built the Bacon monument at St Michael's Church, though it has been suggested that in all likelihood it was carried out by the sculptor and master mason Nicholas Stone, a senior figure in the Masons' Company of London. He carried out as master mason several designs of Bacon's close friend, Grand Master of England Inigo Jones, including the banqueting house at Whitehall. The translation by Dr. Tennyson of Compositor Solventor as "Let the companions be parted" alludes to the Freemasonic Royal Arch Companion, where members of the order are referred to as excellent companions. The enigmatic figure of Bacon on the monument at St Michael's Church depicts him as the Grand Master of the Rosicrucian-Freemasonry Brotherhood. In his biography of Bacon, Alfred Dodd, himself a learned and lifelong Freemason, observes, "The statue depicts Francis Bacon in a favourite attitude, seated in his chair, ruminating and about to dictate. Thus leaning on mine elbow, I begin. The roses on his shoes denote his connection with the Rosicrucian fraternity, the square chair, the gauntlets, the hat, as a worshipful master among Masons." In 1652 appears the first English translation of the 2 Rosicrucian manifestos, the Fama Fraternitatis and the Confessio Fraternitatis, originally published at Kassel in Germany in German and Latin. If a line be drawn from A in fame to the corner of the left-hand page, i.e. from the top line to the bottom, the letters on the left side spell in cipher Frater Francis Bacon. This is a remarkable photograph. It is said that Francis Bacon fled to the continent at Easter 1626 and that he did not die but went to live with the ANDREA family. Frau von Lecoq was allowed to take this photograph by the permission of the ANDREA descendants. Here we get Masonic and Rosicrucian emblems. It is, in short, a Masonic picture, and the man in the centre is believed to be Francis Bacon as a very old man. The singular thing is that here we have two shields out of the many that surround the portrait, which simply contain the letters F.B. In 1667, Thomas Sprat published the first official account of the history of the Royal Society. The work contains the frontispiece with, at its centre, a bust of Charles II, and to his right William Brouncker, the first president of the Royal Society, and to the left its spiritual founder Francis Bacon, who is under the angel's wing. This is an allusion to Under the Shadow of Jehovah's Wings, which is meant to recall the Rosicrucian Manifesto, the Fama Fraternitatis. The first impression is the Masonic pavement in the forefront of the picture. It pushes towards the viewer so it cannot be ignored. All Masons are told about the checkered floor of the lodge room. The compasses and squares, of which there are 4 compasses and 3 squares in the plate, are described in Masonic ritual. Then there is the positioning of the 3 figures. Brouncker is placed in the seat of the senior working officer, while Bacon is placed in the seat of the immediate past master. Bacon is also shown in the frontispiece wearing the jewel and collar of a chaplain of the Lodge of Edinburgh. At Bacon's feet, Artium Instaurator means restorer of the arts. The Freemasons emerged from their hiding places in 1723 and let the world know of their existence officially. In 1723-25, Alexander Pope and Dr. Sewell published Shakespeare's Sonnets, the Benson Medley edition. The above illustration is the headpiece from it, a remarkable example of Masonic symbolism. On the left is to be seen the square and compasses, the mask, and the clasped book with the palette and brushes. There is also the special cross T's of the knight's degree. In the centre are the 3 principals hailing the sun. At the back of the 3rd figure are the initials FB. The first folio of the Shakespeare works was published in 1623 and has been described as the greatest Masonic book in the world. And precisely 100 years later, 100 is simple cipher for Francis Bacon, saw the publication of the first official constitutions of the Freemasons in 1723. According to the central legend of Freemasonry, the craft was introduced into England in the time of St Alban, who lived in the 3rd century, from whom the town of St Albans takes its name, after whom Lord Bacon took his title Viscount St Alban. In the introduction to the official The New Book of Constitutions, Dr. Anderson states, "An expert brother by the true light can readily find many useful hints on almost every page of this book, which Cowans and others not initiated cannot discern." The legend of St Alban, the supposed founder of the Freemasonry in England, as presented by Dr. Anderson, is framed by 2 numbers, 287 and 303. If the null 0 is dropped, then from 303 it leaves 33, Bacon in simple cipher, and the number 287 represents Fra Rosicross in K cipher. Thus, Dr. James Anderson, in the New Book of Constitutions, officially sanctioned by the Grand Lodge of England, secretly communicates to the high initiates and those able to decipher it that the true founding father of the Rosicrucian-Freemasonry Brotherhood is Francis Bacon, Viscount St Alban. This tailpiece is from the collected edition of Francis Bacon's prose works by Dr. Peter Shaw, published in 1733, the first collection to appear after the emergence of the Freemasons in 1723. It unmistakably links Francis Bacon with the craft. There is the square and compasses, the globe, the TT and cross symbol found in the 1723 Book of Constitutions. The palette denoting that he's a painter or poet who paints with words, like FB Pictor et Architectus in the Rosicrucian-Freemasonry. The new organ, symbolising the new philosophy told in the Instauration Part 6, and a mask to denote he was a concealed author. The monument to Shakespeare was erected in 1740 at Westminster Abbey under the joint auspices of Richard Boyle, 3rd Earl of Burlington, relative of Robert Boyle, founding member of the Rosicrucian Royal Society, the poet and Shakespeare editor Alexander Pope, and Dr. Richard Mead, who had a very close relationship with both the Bacon and Shakespeare editors, Blackburn, Mallet, Birch, Rowe, Theobald, Pope and Johnson, who all moved in Rosicrucian Freemasonic circles. Blackburn and Mallet dedicated their editions of Bacon's works to Baconian and physician Dr. Richard Mead. In the preface of Theobald's edition of the Shakespeare works, he acknowledges the help and advice in preparing the edition from Mead. The verse on the scroll has been altered from how it appears in the first folio, including replacing the E of Towers with an apostrophe. Shakespeare points to temples as a clue to its Masonic significance, and there are exactly 157 letters on the scroll, Fra Rosicross in simple cipher, Rosicrucian Brother. If the Freemasonic indicator temples is omitted, there are exactly 33 words on the scroll, Bacon in simple cipher. So we have a monument that clearly tells us that Francis Bacon was both Shakespeare and a Rosicrucian brother. This emblem appears on the title page of Francis Bacon's New Atlantis, Land of the Rosicrucians, published shortly after his recorded death in 1626. The emblem depicts old Father Time, and around it is the inscription Tempore patent occulta veritas, which translated means, in time the hidden truth will be revealed.